trusted news source. This is Channel 8 News Midday.
We come on the air this midday with breaking news. Lincoln Police revealing new details on an early morning shooting. Thank you for joining us, everyone. I'm Major Ward. Police telling us a man was shot in his home near 56 and Franklin Streets this morning. Our team capturing this video in front of his home. You can see the large police presence, flashing lights, several officers dispatched there to investigate what happened. LPD telling us that the victim is a 41-year-old man. They spoke with him and he told them someone kicked in his door this morning and shot him. It appears the victim did not know the shooter. Police say this happened around 3:15. The man was rushed to a local hospital, but police say he had non-life-threatening injuries. A little while later, officers removing police tape from the home. LPD says they need the public's help finding the shooter.
No individuals are in custody at this time, but we do not believe there's an ongoing threat to the public. We're asking anyone with information that could help investigators to contact police.
Officials say if you have any information that you'd like to share but would like to remain anonymous, contact Crime Stoppers. All right, let's get to the weather here this morning. Beautiful look outside right now at our Alec Communications camera. It's not really that bad outside currently. Lots of sunshine out there, 58 degrees here in the capital city. Let's get over to meteorologist Houston Hall's got an updated first forecast here for us. Really isn't. It's pretty nice outside today, Houston.
Yeah, that's for sure. I mean, it is almost the last week of May, and we're talking about temperatures only in the 50s right now. Last week we were in the 80s sometimes at this point, but it is rather nice out there. Look at those, it looks like a mackerel sky. You get those upper level clouds, making it look like kind of some scales out there. But most of us in the low to upper 50s. We are once again one of the warmer spots in Lincoln, 58 degrees. We're beating everyone in southeast Nebraska. Catch up now, 50 in Kearney. And as you can see, there's a little bit of a cooler spot off towards southwest Nebraska. And that's going to be due to a little bit of a rain showers. And the wind is also kicking out there towards the west. They got a south wind about 10-15 miles per hour. And there's the reason that they are cooler. There's a little bit of rain moving in there. No lightning embedded within any of that. Maybe just some moderate, maybe some heavy bands of rainfall just going towards McCook, between North Platte and McCook. That's all going to continue to move towards the northeast as we go into this afternoon. And notice some of it might make it to Lincoln, but it'll be in the form of some sprinkles. There's about the afternoon, but wait till the overnight hours. We do get our chance of some rain tomorrow morning. I'll show you that whole forecast later in a few.
Sounds good. Thank you very much, Houston. Breaking now, the Justice Department is preparing to announce an indictment against former Cuban President Raul Castro. He is accused of being responsible for the killings of 4 people, including 3 American pilots. These charges, 3 decades in the making. ABC's Olivia Rubin has more on what we're expecting to happen today.
Today, sources tell ABC News the Justice Department is expected to announce a prosecution decades in the making, an indictment against former Cuban President Raul Castro. The charges expected to include allegations of murder related to this incident in 1996. 2 planes shot down, resulting in the deaths of 3 American pilots. The planes were operated by the humanitarian group Brothers to the Rescue and were delivering aid to desperate migrants. At the time, the Cuban government claiming the planes violated their airspace.
These small airplanes were unarmed, and clearly so. Cuban authorities knew that.
Raul Castro was defense minister at the time. His brother, Fidel Castro, was president of Cuba. The humanitarian group at the time laying blame at their feet.
I want also to make the point that this happened with the full knowledge and planning of the Castro government.
The indictment coming as President Trump turns his attention to Cuba, warning the country of possible U.S. intervention.
Does the president of Cuba has his days numbered?
Well, they're not doing well. Cuba is not doing well. It's a failed nation, and we'll be talking about Cuba at the right time.
And on Capitol Hill today, lawmakers praising the move.
This was premeditated murder of 3 Americans and 1 U.S. resident. Premeditated murder. Ordered, as was known then and is known today, by Raul Castro himself.
Castro is 94 years old and lives in Cuba. Olivia Rubin, ABC News, Washington.
Now to that breaking news from overnight, we are working to find out more about a crash in South Lincoln that left 2 cars with significant damage. Take a look at the scene here. This was at around 10 o'clock last night. This is at the intersection of Old Cheney Road and Nebraska Parkway. You can see first responders on the scene. 1 car off on the side of the road. A second car with significant front end damage. Channel 8 did get in touch with Lincoln Police this morning. They are unable to release any more information at this time. We are staying in contact with them, asking how the drivers are doing this morning and if they have determined the cause of the crash. We'll let you know on our Now Local News app and on air if they answer us. Also breaking overnight, Gas Buddy is forecasting the most expensive summer at the pump in years. Starting with Memorial Day, they are projecting the national average to reach $4.48 per gallon this weekend. Through Labor Day, Gas Buddy says the averages could reach $4.80 with the possibility of all-time record highs if the Strait of Hormuz remains closed. We are flirting with the national average here in Lincoln, some places up to $4.41 a gallon. We are tracking gas prices and updating you on our Now Local News app and on air as those averages fluctuate. Right now, some are concerned about the future in the wake of severe weather.
Severe weather research at the University of Nebraska is going away.
Now, the UNL budget cut effects are becoming more clear. Students have long studied severe weather at UNL, but with the program now cut, what impacts will it have on us when strong storms strike in the future? Channel 8's Mackenzie Johnson looked into it for us.
Those who will leave, and most are, will continue to do research and continue to try to advance understanding, but it's not going to be in Nebraska.
Adam Houston is a professor of meteorology. He also leads a severe storms research group at UNL, where students work to understand severe storms and help improve predictions. But despite putting up a fight, the Earth and Atmospheric Sciences Department was one of 5 programs cut due to budget issues at UNL. And now, after the latest bout of severe weather in Nebraska, the reality of that decision is sinking in.
It's painful. It's painful for the faculty, of course, who have to leave. It's painful for the students that have to leave.
Houston tells me the state will not only lose out on that critical research, but also the Nebraska students who make a big impact.
We are training students that would eventually go into the National Weather Service. The National Weather Service is responsible for issuing the watches and warnings for severe weather and other hazards in the atmosphere. And so those people were literally saving people's lives. They were doing it yesterday. They have been doing it for many years. And that conduit is gone now.
Houston says many of their graduates would stay in Nebraska after college, but now he's afraid people born and raised in the state will leave for another meteorology program and not come back.
That's kind of the sad thing is a lot of these kids that came out of Nebraska into this department grew up loving meteorology in part because of the outreach that me and my colleagues and my students had done for years.
Reporting in Lincoln, Mackenzie Johnson, Channel 8 News.
And now to Husker softball. We're going to hear from the Big Red today before their next NCAA tournament game. For the first time ever, Nebraska is hosting an NCAA super regional in just a few days before the Huskers take on Oklahoma State. Jordy Fromm, Alexis Jensen, each earning Softball America All-American honors. Fromm has been on fire this season, and this sports analyst with the NCAA is impressed with her performance.
Nebraska at 4, Jordy Fromm continues to be incredible for this team. She notched over 20 strikeouts in the circle as the team put up a .33 ERA on the weekend and had the lowest hits allowed per 7 innings.
The Huskers will be back in Bowling this Thursday as they gear up for a few days of competition. We'll hear from the team as they prepare for the game today, and the Huskers are set to practice this afternoon. Our sports team will be there asking what Nebraska needs to do to advance to the Women's College World Series. You can watch that report tonight at 5. Caught on camera, a car crash with the law. Take a look at this video. The driver of the black pickup goes around a van that was waiting to take a right, but didn't see an oncoming state trooper rushing to a call. Now the crews are crashing into the back of that pickup. It happened near Omaha. Nobody was hurt. The driver of the pickup was ticketed. Still to come here this morning, people around one Lincoln neighborhood seeing a large fire today. Find out why and where it'll be coming up after the break. Happening today, the last chance to face the chamber. Lincoln Chamber of Commerce is hosting their final luncheon with speakers. Here's a look at the countdown for the event happening at noon today. They'll address a variety of topics, including public policy issues, updates on matters impacting business and quality of life. Today's event will be held at the Country Club of Lincoln here in just 48 minutes. And in Pioneers Park, Lincoln Parks and Rec will be conducting a prescribed burn from 1 to 4 this afternoon. They say they will focus on 5 acres of the remnant prairie located north of the sledding area. During this time, the equestrian trail located in the sledding area will be closed. Access to Pioneers Park Nature Center will be open, but they recommend that everyone avoid the area during this time. Well, how much exercise should you be doing a week? A new study claims it's not 150 minutes. And enrollment in the Affordable Care Act is expected to plummet this year. Here's Shane King with today's Wellness Report.
ACA enrollment may fall by as much as 5 million people this year. Americans face sharply higher costs as federal subsidies for ACA expired at the end of last year. Households have said money was the top reason they will not stay with ACA this year. Well, new research reimagined the rules for how much we should exercise each week for heart health benefits, and it's a lot more than we were previously told. Guidelines from the CDC and other health agencies recommend adults get at least 150 minutes of moderate aerobic activity and do 2 muscle strengthening sessions a week. However, this new research suggests a weekly amount that's 3 to 4 times higher than that, 9 to 10 hours a week. Well, guess what's cool again? Hacky sacks. The Wall Street Journal reports the little bean bags that once appeared relegated to the cultural graveyard like mixtapes and Blockbuster have taken over high schools, sports fields, and hallways. There are injuries, however, especially for those trying to replicate some of the more complicated moves on social media. From the New York Stock Exchange, I'm Jane King. Here's your health.
Well, you know what else is cool is our temperatures. They're in the 40s and 50s. We've got a little bit of rain out in southwest Nebraska. We're actually going to have some scattered rain as we go into tomorrow and Friday. I'll show you all that here in a few.
Meet Lincoln's deal.
People in different parts of the country are dealing with different kinds of severe weather, from extreme heat in the Northeast, storm fallout in the central U.S., and then wind-driven wildfires in the West. We're seeing multiple extreme weather events from coast to coast. Reed Binion explains the main threats right now.
It was surreal, to be honest. I've never had it so close to home. Evacuation orders and warnings continued Tuesday as the Sandy fire torched parts of Southern California for a second day. The blaze, burning in Simi Valley northwest of Los Angeles, started as a fast-moving brush fire Monday. According to CAL FIRE, it had grown to roughly 1,700 acres as of Tuesday night and was just 5% contained. Among the other blazes scorching Southern California, the Verona fire in Riverside County, which officials said had burned more than 400 acres by Tuesday night, with a firefighter suffering minor injuries. There's also the Bain fire in Riverside County. CAL FIRE said it stood at more than 1,300 acres as of late Tuesday. Another fire in San Diego County charred 1,000 acres. The flames in California coming as other parts of the country are still reeling from severe weather. Residents in parts of the central U.S. recovering from days of violent storms, including dozens of reported tornadoes.
Right now, it's just a community effort coming together.
People come together when needed.
Parts of the Northeast dealing with extreme heat.
We say anything's better than snow, but this is a bit ridiculous.
It's technically still spring, but in Massachusetts, summer jumped the gun with a wave of early season heat that prompted warnings in and around Boston. I'm Reed Binion reporting.
Now, for your Storm Alert Team forecast with meteorologist Houston Hall.
Check this side out. This is just like something you could just paint, right? Got some altocumulus clouds. They usually make a little banding in the sky. Sometimes they look like a mackerel sky, which is just like some scaly features. But this is pretty awesome. Some good old altocumulus clouds. Our berry log cam, yeah, this is a perfect definition of sort of partly sunny. You got every type of cloud out there, low to mid to high level clouds. And some, the sun can break through. And that's going to be those low level clouds that they can't break through. It's 58. We're actually one of the warmer spots once again. Our dew point is pretty low out there, 40 for our dew point. All right, there it is. I had these lines this morning, and they're continuing their good old path. How about that? The 300 millibar jet circulation. That's how I figured that out. But yes, we do have some good old southwest Nebraska rainfall. No lightning has been associated with any of that. It's just some good light, consistent rainfall out there towards McCook, North Platte. That's going to continue to make its way towards the northeast. Notice a little bit of radar feedback just north of Lincoln. That's going to be mainly in the form of some sprinkles. As you saw, the dew point still in the 40s. We need the temperature to be closer to that dew point. There's a 20-degree difference there. All right, let's take a look at what's going to happen in the next few hours as we go into this afternoon. A few sprinkles possible the further east you are, but main accumulation out towards the west near Broken Bow, North Platte, and they will take every drop they sure can get, and that's not going to be it through the next about 72 hours. This is going to be Wednesday night. So late tonight, if you have any plans, about 10, 11 p.m., a little bit of isolated rain showers will start to develop as we're going to get a little bit of that moisture increase across southeast Nebraska. I would say tomorrow morning, if you are in southeast Nebraska, have a stray umbrella. This is going to be about 5, 6 a.m. Notice all of it moves towards the east, but still maybe a lingering light rain shower. After the morning hours, we dry on out. We're going to have a little bit of cloud cover, and it looks to be a dry afternoon and evening for your Thursday. Let's go into Friday, where this is going to be the main rain factor as we go into Friday afternoon, Friday evening. This is Friday morning, early, midnight to 2 a.m. Notice really widespread to sporadic showers and thunderstorms. That's going to kind of start to form a line. Now notice it's going to be straight up like this, and it's going to curve. That's where you get that moisture increase. Wouldn't be surprised if there might be a marginal risk of severe weather, as we will have a little bit of instability, but this is going to be all morning rain, morning thunderstorms, so maybe a little bit of peace ice hail within the strongest cores of these. But this is going to be Friday morning. Make sure to have an umbrella, have a little jacket handy, as we will see some rain move west to east. Should kick on out of there by about Friday evening, and then that's all of the warm front, and that's going to bring some warm temperatures going into your weekend. How much rain can we see possibly? Well, look at this big old swath of rain out towards the west. Of course, don't take that with a grain of salt, but we could be seeing about 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch, and then maybe an inch further west. Off towards the east, this is through Friday night. Could see about 1/2 inch, but mainly 1/4 of an inch to, I would say, 1/2 inch for sure. Temperatures right now, look at that. There's the rain out there, 40s and 50s. Got some 60s starting to go up there. 58 right now in Lincoln, 56 in Omaha. Really pretty below average. Our relative humidity values, meant to change that to dew points. So you can see it's pretty dry out there, 50% saturated. Winds are still on the light side, 3 to 6 miles per hour. Temperatures just like yesterday at this time, staying in the lower 60s. Winds also staying pretty calm. Got us at 44 tonight. A little bit of light rain will occur, and then temperatures further off towards the west, a little cooler where they are already saw some of that rain. Rain likely on Friday, widespread, but in the morning and the afternoon dies down by the evening. clears out, and then Saturday and Sunday we warm on up, and then we see some sunshine for your Memorial Day, and then maybe another chance midweek.
All right, sounds good. Thank you very much, Houston. Coming up, a shocking new decision from the Department of Justice regarding President Trump and the IRS. Details about the move, and it's causing angry reactions.
Being a chief
Helping now, the Department of Justice is making a huge decision involving the IRS and the president. The DOJ granting Trump, his family, and their businesses immunity from investigations of their taxes by the IRS. This comes amid ethics concerns over the creation of a $1.8 billion fund to compensate the president's allies. ABC's Mary Bruce reports.
This morning, in a stunning move, the Justice Department announcing the IRS is dropping all audits of President Trump and his family, declaring it is, quote, forever barred and precluded from pursuing any previous claims against the president, his sons, and their businesses, an arrangement that could significantly benefit the Trump family financially. The announcement tacked on to an already unprecedented settlement between Trump and his own government. The president dropping his $10 billion lawsuit against the IRS over the leak of his tax returns in exchange for the creation of a $1.8 billion fund in taxpayer money to benefit Trump allies who claim they were mistreated by the Biden Justice Department. Democrats arguing it's a slush fund for Trump supporters.
This is corruption that has never been more blatant or more widespread. What is happening is you write the check, Trump and his cronies cash it. American taxpayers, who are already being whacked with high prices, are going to foot the bill.
Even Senate Republican leader John Thune says he's, quote, not a big fan of the fund.
I think that there are and will be, continue to be, a lot of questions around that the administration is going to have to answer.
Among those who could benefit, those who were charged in connection with the January 6th attack on the Capitol, including roughly 600 people who were charged with obstruction or assaulting police. At least 170 pleaded guilty, and dozens of others were found guilty by juries. Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche, Trump's former personal attorney who orchestrated the agreement, grilled on Capitol Hill.
Will individuals who assaulted Capitol Hill police officers be eligible for this fund?
Well, as it makes plain, anybody is
just let me know if they're eligible for the fund.
As was made plain yesterday, anybody in this country is eligible to apply if they believe they're a victim of weaponization.
And while the administration defends the $1.8 billion fund, the president once again brushing off the economic pain Americans are feeling because of the war with Iran.
We have to do something with Iran. We cannot let them have a nuclear weapon. You want to see the world exploded? You want to see a problem? And this is peanuts.
Mary Bruce, ABC News, Washington.
Still ahead, this midday disaster recovery, how one rural community is picking up the pieces in the aftermath of devastating storms.
Trusted news source. This is Channel 8 News Midday.
If you're just joining us, we are following a big breaking news story in Lincoln. Gunfire sending one person to the hospital this morning. Lincoln police telling us one man was shot inside his home near 56th and Franklin Streets early this morning. They say the victim told them an unknown person kicked his door down and pulled the trigger. They say the man was taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Our team on the scene capturing these images. You can see heavy police presence in front of the home as officials investigate. At this time, no one has been arrested, and LPD says they need the public's help to find the shooter. Developing now, the city of Auburn declaring a disaster. Resources from Nemaha and other counties are in Auburn. Tree limbs and entire trees came crashing down on streets, yards, and some cars. Now Auburn needs all hands on deck as they pick up the pieces from ferocious storms. The city is asking for assistance, not just from emergency management teams, but from anyone that is willing to help. Channel 8's Emma Norwood reports from Auburn.
Community spending the day hauling branches and clearing debris after powerful storms rip through.
I think you're making progress and you look around you and you go, this feels like a drop in the bucket compared to everything that's left to be done.
The city issuing a disaster declaration on Tuesday. People of all ages getting to work, borrowing trucks and chainsaws.
To have such widespread destruction and debris scattered throughout our community, it's really difficult. People keep saying, where was it the worst? And I just go, well, you think you've seen the worst, and you go on to the next block and the next block.
Auburn Public Schools even making the decision to cancel classes because of all the damage. You can see yards covered with fallen trees, branches, and leaves scattered everywhere. One neighbor's car even smashed in.
It would hit and knock things out, things would fall, and then people would stop, and then the rain would come through, and rain and wind would blow again. So it was just kind of a cyclical kind of a thing where people felt like, okay, it's the calm, but yet there's more coming. What's coming next? We've talked with somebody that had, a tree fall on their roof. It came through into their living room, and then the next storm brought a bunch of rains, and then the water came in.
But while the damage is overwhelming, the response from multiple different counties has been immediate. A group of volunteers even traveling from Cass County.
I was watching it. I thought it was going to hit our county, Cass County. And about that time it took that hook was when we decided, we might, want to get a team together to come down and help. we all look after each other. That is the one great thing. We are a strong Nebraska group.
Reporting in Lincoln, Emma Norwood, Channel 8 News.
All right, let's get to weather here this morning. Luckily, it's pretty good weather today to clean up some of that debris for a lot of those southeastern Nebraska towns that were hit. This is our Honda Lincoln camera. Temperatures flirting with the 60s already. Let's get on over to meteorologist Houston Hall. Let's get a closer look at our first forecast. Good morning, Houston.
Good morning. Yeah, it looks like down in Beatrice, they're seeing quite a bit of sunshine, and that's the story for today. Meanwhile, here in Lincoln, we're seeing a little bit of every type of cloud cover. But looks like a nice day down in Beatrice. A few fair weather clouds, some upper level clouds there. Take a look at visible satellite and radar. You can see Beatrice has most of the sunshine. If you are in northwest Lincoln, down towards the southeast, you got the most sunshine for today. A little bit of probably light sprinkle activity just north of Lincoln. The bulk of the rain is further off towards the west. Temperature-wise, you can see where the sunshine's affecting temperatures, upper 50s, soon to be lower 60s out towards the west in the Tri-Cities, some lower 50s, and then some upper 40s just in southwest Nebraska, and that's going to be due to some rain. Look at the winds across western Nebraska. Out of the south, 15 to close to 20 miles per hour, and there's that little band of rainfall just north of McCook going towards North Platte and Broken Bow and Grand Island. The better chance for accumulating rainfall through this afternoon is going to be out towards Broken Bow and places off towards the west, I should say. Further east you are, probably some sprinkles. But overnight tonight, going into your Thursday morning, could see some scattered showers, maybe a rumble of thunder. I'll show you the whole forecast and how much rain to expect in a few.
Houston, breaking overnight now, China confirming plans to buy 200 Boeing planes from the U.S. The deal, which would bring an end to a nearly decade-long virtual sales freeze between Boeing and China, was announced this morning by the Chinese Commerce Ministry. Officials also say that the U.S. and China are working to extend a trade truce that's currently scheduled to expire in November. This all comes shortly after President Donald Trump took part in a two-day summit with Chinese leader Xi Jinping in Beijing. New developments in the Ebola outbreak in Central Africa, with nearly 600 suspected cases and at least 139 suspected deaths in the Congo. The World Health Organization saying the numbers will keep going up, given the virus was likely circulating before the outbreak was even detected. As ABC's Rena Roy reports, an American doctor who contracted the virus is now receiving medical treatment in Germany.
As the numbers rapidly rise, health officials racing to contain the Ebola outbreak in Central Africa.
Given the scale, we are thinking that it has started probably a couple of months ago.
Among the hundreds believed to be infected, Peter Stafford, a doctor from the U.S. The medical missionary transferred from the Congo to a hospital for medical care in Germany. New video shows him arriving in Berlin.
Everybody in the ambulance was wearing what they call full PPE. There's not one centimeter of exposed skin.
Colleagues revealing how he may have contracted the deadly virus.
He did the surgery on this sick patient a week before the epidemic was finally identified as Bundibugyo Ebola virus.
Travel plans also made for Stafford's wife, their 4 young children, and another missionary doctor who may have also been exposed to an infected patient. This week, the World Health Organization convening for an emergency meeting, saying the risks are high regionally but low globally.
The situation is a public health emergency of international concern, but is not a pandemic emergency.
The Ebola virus can mimic flu-like symptoms and progress to internal bleeding and possible death.
Right now, there is no FDA-approved vaccine to treat this strain of the Ebola virus. However, the head of the Africa CDC says scientists are exploring 3 experimental options. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
Right now, a stretch of railroad tracks is back open after a concrete truck crash. Take a look at this, a concrete truck overturning in Oxford, Nebraska. We are reaching out to officials to figure out what exactly caused this. Now, the tracks and highway were closed for several hours. The truck was fully loaded with 11 yards of concrete. Most of it stayed in the drum. The driver is okay. Help is on the way for some Nebraska farmers and ranchers. Federal officials are opening up the Valentine National Wildlife Refuge to those impacted by the spring wildfires. The 13,000 acres will be available later in the summer with special plots for cattle grazing. Now to a story only on 8. One volunteer is helping a foster teen find her forever home. For many children in the foster care system, finding a family can take years. For one teen, thanks to a volunteer, she had someone standing by her side the entire time. Channel 8's Daniel Da Silva reports.
Lexi Wagner is a day away from 17. She has goals of going to college, then law school. But before that, it was to find a support system.
I think it's a genuine blessing to have somebody step up and be the consistent adult in my life.
Hundreds like her have found that support through CASA.
CASA stands for Court-Appointed Special Advocates, and it's a national program.
Shelby Peterson is executive director of Southeast Nebraska CASA, which serves Seward, Saline, Jefferson, and Thayer counties. They served 44 children in 2026 alone and still have 26 others on a waiting list. Volunteers must be at least 21 years old and complete 30 hours of training.
Essentially what our volunteers in our program do is be a voice for the kids that are in the foster care system. We always talk about the power of one adult in a kid's life, and that's really what our CASA volunteers are.
Victoria Coe is Lexi's. Tori, as she's called, hand-picked Lexi's file. She noticed how long Lexi had been in the system.
She is very resilient. There was a period of time there where she went through, I think, like 3 different placements within 2 weeks. And it was hard to see that.
She slowly earned Lexi's trust through her commitment to advocacy.
Kind of just really fell in love with the fact that I can help children have a voice in a situation that is not ideal. You want the court to know what the child wants and what the child needs and the concerns that the child has.
Lexi says it's also a two-way street that required her to believe in herself. 900 days later, it is paying off.
I feel like I'm just a very self-motivated person in general. And it was nice to have somebody else who believed in me along the way.
She now lives with foster mom Liz Sizer, her legal guardian.
Became a part of my family very quickly and part of my heart, and just love her very much.
Danielle Da Silva for Channel 8 News.
Still to come, bye-bye beer, what Pabst staple will no longer be sold, and why the company is making the move. Continuing, Schlitz Beer and the biggest U.S. wind project is due to come online next month. Here's Jen King with your Ag and Energy Report.
A wind project billed as the largest clean energy installation in the U.S. is due to come online next month. Bloomberg reports the SunZia wind farm in New Mexico, providing 3.5 gigawatts of power capacity. That's enough to power 1 million homes. Will be operational as soon as June 15th. The project includes a 550-mile transmission line carrying electricity to Arizona and has been in the works for 2 decades. Well, ExxonMobil Chairman and Chief Executive Officer Darren Woods had a clear message for Wall Street on the company's earnings call that the worst for oil prices may not be over. Now, he says there was a lot of oil in transit when the Iran war began and was already on the way to destinations. But now that the strait has been closed for several weeks, the supply is drawing down. He says living off the stockpiles won't last forever. Well, Americans are eating more meat than ever. USDA is forecasting a rise in U.S. consumption of beef, pork, and chicken this year, all staples for summertime cookouts. Beef prices continue to set records driven by strong demand and the smallest U.S. cattle herd in 75 years. And pork is slightly higher in price as well. So chicken continues to be the most affordable and abundant meat option. Well, Pabst is discontinuing Schlitz beer. The beer was based in Milwaukee starting in 1849 and was later produced by the Pabst Brewing Company. Pabst blames the cost to ship and store the beer. It first bought the brand in 1999. From the New York Stock Exchange, I'm Jane King with your Ag and Energy Report.
Now, for your Storm Alert Team forecast with meteorologist Houston Hall.
Well, today, I don't know if it's a really good day to have a beer or anything like that. So it's just chilly. A jacket, short thing, that might be good. ABC Seamless Cam showing some cloud cover. Honda of Lincoln Cam, this is just a beautiful, beautiful sight. Macro, alto cumulus clouds. You really get those striations of clouds. They're usually mid to upper level clouds out there. The flag's starting to blow a little bit. We do got a little bit of a 5 to 10 mile per hour wind. It says 3. I'm not sure which direction, most likely out of the southeast though. We got a dew point of 40 and a temperature of 58. Check it out, visible satellite and radar. We got a little bit of sprinkle activity as we do have quite a bit of dry air. The dew point's at 40, we're at 58. It's a 20-degree difference. We need those a little bit closer. Meanwhile, the rain is currently out here towards southwest Nebraska. Had this little path this morning and it is continuing its strength. We'll notice that, not any rain behind this line. We got high pressure over here. Notice the skies are a little bit clearer. That's why they had a frost advisory this morning due to temperatures in the lower 30s. All right, through the next few hours, this rain will continue off towards the southwest. It will continue to move towards the northeast, and the bulk of the rain and the accumulation, broken bow, out towards the west. We're looking at maybe 1/4 of an inch to 1/2 an inch. The 1/2 inch will be occurring near Ogallala, North Platte. All right, here's this evening into the late night hours. We're talking about 10 to midnight. Going to have another little system bring in some moisture across southeast Nebraska, and we're going to be seeing some isolated to scattered light rain showers, maybe a rumble of thunder as we go into tomorrow morning. But really, all of this light rain looks to be out by about 5, 6 a.m. So your morning commute should be dry, maybe an isolated light rain shower across far southeast Nebraska. For the rest of your Thursday afternoon and evening, it looks to be just dry, a little bit cloudy, if not partly sunny. Hopefully, we can see some sunshine. Well, here goes Friday, midnight to 2 a.m. We're going to actually have the best chance for some widespread rain and some thunderstorms Friday. This is going to be early Friday. You can see widespread scattered showers and thunderstorms. Now, that system is going to move west to east as we go into Friday morning. So have an umbrella Friday, but tomorrow morning I think you'll be all right. Notice a line of showers and thunderstorms is going to kick off towards the east. There's a beautiful little shrimp looking thing. That's going to be a low pressure system. And that is going to be due to a warm front as that moves towards the east. Should be out of here by about Friday evening, Friday night. That's going to leave us with a whole lot of sunshine and some warm temperatures going into your Memorial Day weekend. Rain totals really out towards the west. That's going to be the best chance for close to an inch of rainfall. Meanwhile, off towards southeast Nebraska, looking at about 1/4 to 3/4 of an inch of rain. Temperatures, look at that band of rain doing the temperatures, upper 40s, lower 50s. We got 60s out there and then upper 50s down here. 58, 58, 56 in Omaha. So temperatures pretty consistent. Dew points on the other hand, yeah, pretty dry. So that rain is going to have a little bit of problem to overcome that. Meanwhile, the winds are pretty light, 5 to 6 miles per hour out of the southeast instead of just 3. Temperature-wise for the rest of the day, looking at the lower 60s, the winds staying where they're at. 44, 49, mostly cloudy, and we're going to have a little bit of that light rain move on in. Colder temperatures off towards the west, looking like the mid to upper 30s out there. All right, so after that Friday chance, that's all due to a warm front. Saturday, we warmed to the 70s. Sunday, 80s, and then Memorial Day looks very nice. And then we do have some warmer temperatures midweek.
All right, sounds good. Thank you very much, Houston. Coming up after the break, we got another little furry friend up for adoption at the Captain Humane Society. We're going to speak live with the shelter coming up after the break. Stay with us, everyone. You see, bye.
Be the first to report breaking news with the Now Local News app. Scan the QR code on your screen to download the app and submit real-time photos and videos of unfolding events. Your quick submissions help keep the community informed and can even be featured on air. Earn points for your submission and redeem them for Visa gift cards. Join the front lines of local news. Download the Now Local News app and share your story today.
The best sale of the year is here now at Lincoln Mattress and Furniture. For a limited time, save 50% off MSRP pricing on all furniture. Shop our 22,000 square foot store, packed with furniture. Savings at 50% off. In stock and special orders are included. Plus, save up to $700 off on iSeries and save $1,000 on Beautyrest Black. At Lincoln Mattress and Furniture, your hometown store.
It's Ernie's and Soresco's incredible Memorial Day sale. Our Memorial Day sale is the time to buy new furniture, and no sale is bigger than Ernie's and Soresco's Memorial Day sale. Huge inventory of in-stock and on-sale items, home furnishings for every room marked down, and the lowest priced mattresses in Nebraska, plus up to 72 months special financing. People wait for this kind of sale. Well, the waiting is over. This is the one. Ernie's and Soresco's and Ernie's Mattress First's Memorial Day sale. Going on now.
Summer starts at Hy-Vee with Memorial Day savings Wednesday through Sunday. Hy-Vee Prime Reserve Bacon Wrap Sirloin, $5.99. Fresh strawberries, $1.75 a pound. Whole seedless watermelon, just $3.98. Fresh ground beef, $4.98 for a 1-pound roll. Pork shoulder roast, just $1.77 a pound. Plus, save on Lay's, Hy-Vee water, Pepsi, and more Wednesday through Sunday. And every day, you'll find the same low prices online as in store. Only at Hy-Vee.
Welcome back, everyone. It's our favorite day of the week. We got the Catholic Humane Society here. Nadia is here to tell us about our little furry friend right here. Who do we have here today, Nadia?
Yes, so today we have Tommy. Tommy is an approximately 3-year-old neutered male Chihuahua mix.
Okay.
He came to us as a lost dog and never reclaimed, so we don't know much about him, but what we do know is he's still trying to be a little brave. He's still learning how to be brave. He loves his people. He does well with other dogs. Bigger dogs make him a little nervous, but we introduced him, to some smaller dogs, and he did well with them. So he's ready to go to his forever home today. We always recommend meeting children and other pets, but he's been great to have around, and he's a little nervous right now, but he can be a little vocal and chit-chat. But yeah, he's been great, and he's really gonna love his people.
You know, he's not shaking quite as much as when I first picked him up earlier, so I think he's calming down a little. I'm growing on him, if you will. There you go. I noticed that this morning that you guys had the full pet, or the Pilex Adoption Center was full of cats this morning. Just kind of that time of the year?
Kind of the time of the year. We do have a lot of long-term cats as well, and so if you're looking to bring someone into the home that has maybe been in the shelter a little longer, always ask the front desk. But yes, full-on cats, cats and kittens, and so now is a good time to adopt if you're looking.
All right, gotta ask you about the Tails and Trails events over the weekend. How did that go?
It went really well. Like I said, it's one of my favorite events, and the weather held out. Beautiful weather throughout the event. We had lots of dogs, of course, vendors, food trucks sold out, so really can't complain there, and I think everyone had a good time.
Alrighty, awesome. And you guys got a few more events coming up here, including U-Stop, the partnership that you guys have there.
Yeah, so U-Stop is kicking it back to the Capital Humane Society. So every Tuesday in May, they're donating 2 cents per gallon back to us. Next Tuesday is the last week they're doing it, so if you're looking to fuel up, I highly recommend trying to wait until Tuesday. If you can't make it, don't risk it. But if you're able to fill up on Tuesday, that helps out the pets in the shelter.
At least you know if the rising prices are,
yes,
there's that indication. At least you know a couple cents are going toward the Capital Humane Society, so that's a good cause right there. And then Give to Lincoln Day, of course, so many nonprofits benefit from that. What can people do to help you guys out?
Yeah, so Give to Lincoln Day is May 28th coming up. I think that's next week. So we always ask if you're able to donate, that is great. It's such a fun day for all of the nonprofits in Lincoln. And yeah, if you're able to donate to the Capital Humane Society that day, that is great. If not, we always take donations like blankets and and other, donations like that as well.
Not to put you on the spot here, but I mean, how much does a day like that help you guys out throughout the course of the year? I mean, we're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars for you guys.
Yeah, hundreds of thousands of dollars and hundreds and thousands of animals that you're helping that day, supporting the animals in the shelter as well as our community programs. So when you donate to the Capitol Humane Society, you really are giving it back to Lincoln and our community.
All right, sounds good. Any items that you guys need right now over at the shelter?
Yeah, something we're a little low on are cat carriers.
Okay.
So something a little different than usual, but we're a little low on cat carriers, making sure we're able to safely transport cats to and from, the admissions and assessment center in Pylock, and also when people are in need, we do give them away. So something we are looking at right now.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think I've ever heard that one here on
Yes.
several years we've done that before. So that's very unique and obviously something they can help out. All right, well, Tommy right now is up for adoption at the Capitol Humane Society. Can you say goodbye, Tommy? All right, thank you for stopping by today, Nadia.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it. We'll be right back, everyone. Stay with us. Trending now, an important Hollywood secret is now out in the open. Some Hollywood stand-ins are well hidden. You never know they're actually having you see double. ABC's Hannah Batal explains.
Me? I'm pretty loyal.
NBA star Steph Curry is peeling back the curtain on a typically hidden Hollywood talent.
I even use the exact same body double. He doesn't even look like me. Hi, I'm Steph Curry.
His real name is Court Bivens. He's the Steph Curry you think you're seeing in all these shots. And he's been doubling as the NBA star for more than a decade.
Here we go.
A body double on set would basically act like the person. They'll wear all their clothes, have the same makeup, hairstyle.
And then they also put me in situations too that, of course, they're not going to put the franchise player in. They've almost drowned me before on set. I've almost fallen off a building before.
Steph Curry shared a behind-the-scenes look at stand-in life with his body double, as well as the ones for actor Kevin Hart and WNBA star Asia Wilson at this Chase commercial shoot.
Stand-in life is a very underappreciated role. All the different cutaways you see of arms, limbs, back of head. I say that loosely because he's bald.
Of course, in Hollywood, there's a fix for that.
I said, when I talk, you do the movements, right? I said that.
But to really sell the illusion, body doubles have to nail the mannerisms.
Now listen, you listen to me.
After 11 years as Kevin Hart's stand-in and photo double, Leroy Tutt has got it down.
But Kevin works out a lot. He has really broad shoulders. So whenever I morph, everything comes in, and now I'm Kevin, and he uses his hands a lot when he talks. I have to furrow my eyebrows and like really get in here. And the moment I do this,
How am I use it in the edit if you don't do what I do?
that's when it kind of locks in.
Hannah Battah, ABC News, New York.
And before we go to break, here's a live look outside at our Barry Law Tower camera. We'll have a final check of the forecast next.